What's going on, people? I want to share this quick audio video with you. I'll try not to be long, and I want to delve deeper into this topic and the subject because there's so much to talk about. There's so much for people to know because I see so many, or better yet, I see an uptick on people being interested into demonology to the point where people feel that they know beyond the shadow of a doubt just by Googling or just by reading a book that they are now scholars when it comes to demons, evil spirits, or demonology. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to try to link demonology with Freemasonry. Well, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I look at Freemasonry and the so-called Illuminati as a distraction to what's behind demonology, and it tricks and deceives people into thinking it's one thing, but it's another. I've heard people and seen people that felt that they could actually outsmart a demon. And that within itself is a deception, because how can you, being gross matter, being gross material, outsmart something that's immaterial, that's not only lived this earth but also traveled into the next realm and exists in the next realm? Now, I know that there's people that feel because they Google and they read and they research, they know about this stuff. And I even heard a person say that he's going to show you and teach you what's behind the scenes. But you can't teach or show what happens behind the scene unless you've been there yourself. And in most cases, these people that you hear trying to teach on demonology, demonic energy, or demonic frequency, these little buzzwords that they use, have never had a demonic encounter themselves, but at the same time have become agents and messengers of Satan to deceive the minds of the ignorant. So you can't tell what's behind the scenes unless you've been there. Unless you've actually been behind the scenes, unless you've actually encountered and witnessed and seen demons, you have no authority to teach on it. Because what that does is only attract that negative energy to yourself. And if you're not careful, you too can become possessed, because now you're opening yourself up to something that you're not familiar with and that's unfamiliar to you. So don't be deceived. Demons are also, and I'm watching all of this take place, I'm watching all of this unfold, where demons are deceiving people into believing that they have the capacity, they have the ability to become more powerful beings. See, people have this crave and this desire for demonic energy. And they're not really thinking, because that demonic energy is an extremely destructive energy. Now, myself personally, I never had to read a book on demons or demonology. I tried to, I made an attempt to in the past, but it was boring to me because I've noticed that the information is coming from a scholastic point of view instead of someone that have actually experienced demons. And in most cases, a person that have discernment or a person that have witnessed or encountered demonic energy or demonic beings can look at a person, can listen to a person and tell if that person is speaking from experience or if they're speaking from what they read or what they were told. Because demons manifest themselves in different ways. See, demons are not going to always look the same. Now, you may Google demons or read books and you see different images of what a demon may look like. And I believe that a lot of those images do come from people that have witnessed those images and are able to draw and recreate those images to give an idea of what they witnessed. But demons manifest themselves in three different forms. They manifest themselves in their original form. Now, I've mentioned before that I personally don't believe that an adult or even someone in their late teens can grow up, make the choice and decision to dabble into the unseen. A demon manifests itself to that person in a dream or vision or in reality, and it does not drive them insane. There are so many people that's locked up in mental institutions for tampering and dabbling with the unseen. And these people have thought like most of you out there in the YouTube world that's making videos about demons, that's playing with tarot cards and other tools of the unseen realm because you're curious and you think you have the knowledge to share with other people but have no idea what you're doing. So you have people that's in the nut house where they have gotten themselves so entangled with the unseen, being unaware of the unseen, to the point where the unseen mock them because these are some of the same people that thought they can outsmart demons. And in the end result was these demons possessed them, possessed their bodies, and used them to try to finish out whatever unfinished work they felt they needed to complete. The end result was this person, this individual, this human being end up going crazy. See, now, because it was too much power for them. So it wasn't the individual that was powerful, but it was the demons that possessed their bodies. A good example of that is in the Bible, where this man was possessed with the legion of demons. This is a whole army, a host of demons that possessed this one man, this one physical body. This man was crying. He was cutting himself with stone. He was depressed, and there's a lot of depressed people that's walking around. There's a lot of people that have that spirit of suicide, that where they want to take their own life because they can't handle what they're dealing with or what's happening within themselves. So this man was crying and cutting himself with stone. And when Yeshua approached him, or Jesus approached him, these demons begin to speak and says, have you come to torment us before time? Which means, yes, these beings or these demonic energies are intelligent to a certain degree because they have a different type of knowledge, a different type of information or intelligence. To the natural mind, they may be geniuses, but they are not. That is not a compliment. They are deceivers. So, when this man had asked Jesus, have you come to torment us before time? It had intelligence. It knew who Jesus was. And it knew, or they knew, that they had no power when it came to Yeshua or Jesus or even the Most High. So when Yeshua had asked, who are you? They said, well, we are legion, for we are many. And they begged that they could go into the pigs. And the Bible says that the pigs, it actually drove the pigs crazy. The pigs, the animal, went crazy when these spirits entered him. And it ran violently down a steep hill and drowned. Now, there's a lot of jewels in that story about the man that had the legion of demons. Because he was in torment. He had inner turmoil within himself. Okay, that was just the reaction or the effects of being demonically possessed. Because I know that there's a lot of people out there that believe that when you have inner demons or inner turmoil, it's just things that you're dealing with yourself in your life and all of this nonsense. And that's exactly what it is, nonsense. But when you have true demonic turmoil, it's only because of the fact that you are being controlled by demons. You are possessed by demons. Now, there's different people that have different definitions of what a demon is. And there's definitions out there that will make people feel good and at ease about dealing with demons or associating themselves with demons or trying to communicate with demons. But it's a dangerous path. So, according to the dictionary, a demon is an evil spirit or devil, especially one thought to possess a person or act as a tormentor in hell. And then it have evil spirit. It have incubus or a succubus. And then it says the demons from hell. So other people may have other definitions as intelligent or genius. And see, these are the words that are used to brainwash and manipulate the ignorant. But I'm a bit ahead of myself. I'm going to go back to how demons manifest themselves. One, they manifest themselves as themselves. Now, when they manifest themselves in their true form, and each form is different. Not every demonic form is going to be the same. See? So, and they usually, if a person is truly gifted, like maybe with discernment of spirits or some type of spiritual gift, I'm not going to name them, but some type of spiritual gifts, that starts from birth. Because when you're dealing with the demonic realm and you don't have that bit of, and I don't really want to refer to it as divinity, But for the sake of those who don't have understanding or don't know what I'm saying, and or maybe have a different definition of divinity, I'm going to say, or have that divine essence within them at birth. And I know there's people out there that say, well, everybody has the ability and everybody has a gift and everybody has this. That's not true. That is not true. And that's how a lot of people are deceived. That's how a lot of people are caught up with demonic possession. Or they open doors or portals for their children to be possessed. See, there's a lot of young people out there that's possessed because their parent or parents opened that portal. And that parent sold their child to the devil, unaware, delving and tampering with unseen realms. But when demons, I think that when a person was born with a certain talent or certain gift, and the demonic realm know who that person is, and that demonic realm start actually attacking, that child starts out in a spiritual warfare from the minute they enter this plane, from the minute they're born into this world, even from the womb. They're engaged in spiritual warfare from the womb. Before they even enter the womb, they're engaged in spiritual warfare. It's like the United States military when they're about to drop paratroopers off in behind enemy lines. They have a certain thing that they have to do. They have a mission that they have to accomplish. So they drop them off at nighttime, in most cases at night, into behind enemy lines. So when a child is dropped into the mother's womb, that's that child being paratrooped down, because that child is now entering into a spiritual warfare from the womb. So that child is going to grow up interacting and even battling with demons, either by dreams, by visions, or those demons would actually manifest themselves in their true form. And that child would have nightmares, wake up screaming. That child would grow up being familiar with that. The child's, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience. That was me. When I was growing up as a child, my nerves were bad. I bite on my fingernails. My mother used to say things like, "I will put hot sauce on your fingernails," right? To keep you from biting them. I was just nervous. I'd wake up screaming. My whole family know about that. They know about the talent gift. When I dream or have a vision of something, it comes to pass. Like if I saw death, it came. And I remember one morning, and I think I shared this story once before on my Fearless channel, Fearless 2005. I woke up one morning, I was crying, man. My mother came in, I was sweating. And she came in and she knew that I must have saw something. I had a dream. And so she came in and I was telling her how bad it was, and I told her what I saw. And that morning, I give it about an hour later, she got a phone call from down south where a relative was shot. His wife shot him by mistake because he came through the window. The door was locked. He got off work. He was coming in the house. And apparently he didn't have his key, so he came through the window. And she thought that he was a burglar, and she shot him and put a hole in his chest big enough to put your head through. And when my mother hung up the phone, she was like, that was his dream. That was a dream you had, right? So it's good to have a parent around, man, that knows or have an idea of what you're going through, because as parents that have children that are talented, that are gifted, that dismiss their child's fears for you ate something, you shouldn't have been watching this before you went to sleep, or they have all that, but they ignore their child's fears or their cries or when they see things at nighttime. You have parents that would even discipline their child for crying at nighttime, for being afraid. But in reality, that child has a certain talent or gift and they see things that you can't see, right? Because you have demonic entities that's revealing themselves to that child in its true form. And it's not a pretty sight. So another good example, and I talked about this story too in the past, where a family member, which is now deceased, when he was younger, he was telling me about how he was always told that if he wanted to hit the number. And he was told that if you want to hit the number, you write the dead, and they told him how to do it. Buffalo Head nickel, glass of water, and they told him what to do. And so one day he decided to do that. And after he did that, he said he laid down, he went to sleep. He said all of a sudden a bull come crashing through the wall. These are hellhounds, right? And this is another way of how demons manifest themselves, right? So a bull come crashing through the walls. And he said that the bull chased him. He said he had big red eyes. Smoke and flames was coming out of his nose. And he said he chased him. It seemed like it was forever. And he said, man, I was hollering, right? And he said that after it seemed about forever, he said, then the bull went away and this woman that he wrote appeared and asked, what did you want? And he said that he wanted the number. He said his shirt was sweaty. It was wet, drenching wet, where he was running and sweating all night, right? And she had asked, what did you want? And he said that he wanted the number. And she said, well, if you take care of my son, I'll give it to you. But she gave him a number. He played it, but he played it like she gave him. It came out, but it came out backwards. So he still lost, right? He didn't get anything. But he played it the way she gave it to him, and it came out, but it came out backwards. So that was a way of how these demons manifest themselves in their true form, right? So 1, they manifest themselves in their true form. 2, they manifest themselves as animals, because you have certain animals that could also be possessed with demons and could be used by demon energy. Animals. You ever see a dog, a cat, or maybe even when it comes to an aggressive mouse or rat, and they may say it's rabbit or something, whatever the terms they have for it, but you have animals that could be used as demonic manifestations, either in your sleep, as a vision, or in reality, right? So when you sleep or in the vision, you may dream of snakes. You may dream of a dog, a black dog with red eyes or yellow eyes that's chasing you. Those are hellhounds. So they will manifest themselves in the form of an animal, be it in your sleep, as a vision, or in reality while you are in the awake state. The third way they manifest themselves in human form. These are people that look like you, but if you have the spirit of discernment, and there's even people that did not have the spirit of discernment, but was able to recognize demonic energy. They just knew that something wasn't right about that individual person. And more than likely that person has some type of spiritual connection, either Christianity, Islam, or whatever religious persuasion you have. They knew that something was not right with that individual person. And in many cases, it's violence, it's death, it's rape, it's depression, it's all of these negative things that this person, or that emanates from this individual person. So demons can manifest themselves as humans or in human form or possessing human forms. Good example. I remember I used to, like when I first came out the military, and I used to work for Digital Equipment Corporation. And I used to catch the bus to work because I didn't have a vehicle. So I'm standing downtown, right? Had my shirt, tie on, ready for work. And there's this little old white lady that had white hair. And it's like downtown, it was like real crowded, like where everybody, these students are getting off, they changing buses, people going to work. And I'm standing there like against the wall of this building. And this woman walked by from a distance, and through the crowd, I seen this woman with this evil look, this very deep, piercing look. This woman was looking at me, just gazing at me with this evil look. And I used to see her every morning, and I said to myself, I said, I see you, demon. I see you. And that goes back to what I said about when a child is born with a certain talent or gift, and they have demonic encounters in their true form, they're going to grow up being used to that. Right? So when they become adults and they see something, it may startle them, at first, but then it's like they ignore it. They know how to ignore it. They see it. They know it's there. Or they try to make someone else aware that it's there by saying, like I used to do that. I used to, when I saw this lady, I was telling my son's mom, I said, do me a favor. I said, look at that woman over there. And what do you see? And she looked at me. She looked at her. She's like, because I've seen this woman more than a few times. I've seen her in the mall. And I said, tell me, what do you see? And she said, why is she looking at you? And she saw that demonic look, that stare that she had. So when you become an adult and you're used to having demonic encounters, it's going to be second nature to you, and you're not going to be so quick to talk about it. As much as I see people online talking about it, because you're going to be looked at as crazy, especially when you say that you've seen demons, or you witnessed demons, or you fought demons. See, I've actually battled with demons coming up. I have had demons laugh at me. Like when I was younger, when I was in my teens, and I'm fighting these demons, and this one, I was like trying to bind this demon, and he was like floating. This is like a vision. He was like floating. And I'm like binding with all my energy. I could just feel all of my energy just draining out of me. And I was just fighting, because you can't be weak, man, and try to go up against demons or deal with demons. That's why fasting, even when it comes to certain dark arts, they also fast too, because there's power in fasting. When you actually deny your physical self of food or drink, and you fast for so many days, man, and you're actually strengthening your spirit, right? So when you're dealing with a demonic warfare, demonic battle, man, you have to be strong. And I was binding this demon, and all of a sudden this demon looked at me and started laughing. He said, you don't have enough strength. He said, you're not strong enough. Demon told me straight up, you ain't strong enough, right? So yeah, it's crazy, man. I could tell you some crazy things that I've seen, man, growing up, man. I used to wake up screaming at night, man. My mother, I remember when the Jackson 5 first came out, man, the night that they made their debut on television. I was in the room sleeping. It was on Christmas. Was it Christmas Eve or Christmas? I remember the Christmas tree was up, right? And the Ed Sullivan Show was on TV. And I woke up screaming. I was in the bed by myself, man. I woke up and there was this woman. I felt the warm body, man. There was a big fat woman with this. You ever see like the Aunt Jemima pancake syrup bottle with the woman with that? She was like laying beside me, man. And all I saw was them big white eyes at night, man, looking at me. And I'm looking at this thing, man, and I like poked it and I felt flesh. I started screaming like crazy, man. And my mother came in there. She still got a mark on her leg where she hit her leg on the edge of the chair, coming in there to see what was wrong with me. And she got in there, turned the light on. What's wrong with you? I saw a fat lady laying beside me, right? The woman was big, man, and I touched it. It was like flesh. And I saw these big white eyes in the dark looking at me, man. I was screaming like crazy, man. I was crazy. I saw some crazy things growing up, man. I saw a head floating over my bed. Just crazy thing. I'm not even going to get into that. But that goes to say, like, when demons manifest themselves to you in their true form, man, it's like you grow up being used to that. You know, you're not going to just get on the internet and make videos and tell people about demons and you've never experienced any demons. And you don't even believe in demons because you're calling them frequencies and energies. And although that may be partially true, that's not all about demons, man. And you got people now that's giving in to demonic energy, becoming possessed with demonic energy, thinking that they're going to get some type of fame, fortune, or some type of power to make them a powerful being. But I'm going to end right here, and I'll probably talk on this later on. I'm already 31 minutes into this audio, and I didn't mean to go this long. But there's just so much to talk about when it comes to demons and dealing with demons, man. Listen, stay away from them. And I can't warn you anymore. And for some of y'all, or many of you, this may be the very last warning that you may get, right? Before you end up going insane. Because I'm telling you, there's people that's locked up behind mental institutions, man, for tampering and dabbling into the unseen. And these demons will make you think that it's okay. They will have you cursing the Most High. They will have you rejecting the Most High, turning your back on the Most High, and cursing anything that has anything to do with the Most High. And you find yourself end up serving them. And when they're finished using you up, will make you destroy yourself. You will self-destruct, or you would end up losing your mind. Think of all these people, man, that's all of a sudden just killing their kids. They can kill a child with no problem. And I'm going to tell you something about abortions, and I always talk about abortions. Abortion is no more than another sign of sacrifices. So think of the number of black females or women in general that sacrifice to demons. You've actually sacrificed to demons unaware because demonic energy made you feel comfortable about doing wrong. So feedback, tell me what you think. I'm going to also post this video on my channel. I'm just thinking out loud. And I'm going to also post this on my Spooky Elite Conservative channel. Also, if you are on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, FearlessJ1111. And I have another Twitter channel, FearlessJ2008. So feedback, tell me what you think. Until next time. I'm just thinking out loud.